Hi, welcome to Vaguely Adults, where two vaguely looking adults talk about vaguely adult things. I'm Sarana.
I'm Sherley. We forgot to do that in the first episode.
Yeah, it's fine. Now you know who we are. But yeah, today we will be talking about
Toxic ends and new beginnings.
just some, light conversation. But yeah, toxic relationships and not just romantic.
Yeah, I see. I see. I do see.
I see. I see.
The problem is a lot of people look, like, when they think of a toxic relationship, you think of, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever the situation is.
Romantic relationships.
Yeah. But, like, that's not always the case. Like, a toxic relationship can be via friendship, even family. Like, yeah, toxic relationships are hard. And it's not always easy to see when you're in one. Especially if, like, you've been with this person for a long time, no matter, like, what this, like, even if you're just friends, if you've been friends for, like, years and years on ends, like, it's really hard to see that the other person is hurting you, even if it's not directly. Like, see, that's also a thing. Like, people don't directly hurt each other all the time. Like, sometimes, like, a bad habit can negatively affect another person, and that doesn't mean, like, the person who is toxic is a bad person. You could just be stuck in a situation where you're bad for someone. And I think it's important to, like, if you realize that you're, like, toxic for someone, it's important to step back from that person.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are friends or you are, like, in a relationship or whatever, and you see that, if you know that you can't change, like, if it's just something that's in you, but that for this person it isn't good, the fact that you step away, I think is, like, it's really healthy and helpful.
Yeah, guys, she knows what she's talking about. She has a degree in psychology. It's like,
it's a bachelor's. It means nothing, but yes.
No, but I think, like, a lot of people are really blinded by that. They think that, I always go back to the perks of being a wallflower quote. You accept the love you think you deserve. And a lot of people don't realize it, but they passively just continuously take things because they think that's what they deserve, and that's due to the type of person that they are. But I think it's more important to realize, it's easier said than done, but to realize someone's self-worth.
Yeah.
And to be like, hey, this really, this isn't working out for me. Or, like, even if it's a friendship, be like, hey, given a scenario, you're trying to warn someone about something, right? And they completely ignore you. Like, that's a toxic mindset, because the other friend is just really trying to look out for you. But if you're trying to ignore that because you're already caught up in, like, what you're thinking and what you think is right, that ultimately hurts you and it hurts the friendship, and, like, it sucks.
It does.
Because it's not that the person is bad, it's just that
it's the situation.
Yeah, it's the situation, the way that they were thinking, and not realizing that someone's trying to help them rather than attack them, Because, like, in the past, I've never had, like, one really strong... Well, I have, like, one really strong group of friends, but, like, throughout my entire, academic career, I've just had so many different groups of friends at different points in my life, and it took me a while to kind of realize that's really okay. Like, it's good to phase in and out of many different friendships, because along the way you learn, and you learn how people work, and you learn how people interact with one another, and you learn a lot about toxicity and what's right for you and what's not.
Also, you grow. People change. Let me tell you, high school Shirley, very different from post-grad Shirley.
Listen, yesterday Sarana, super different from today Sarana.
Yeah, like, people change, and I think it's okay. Like, it's okay to be different. It's okay, like, I'm not talking about, like, oh, I'm hipster, I'm different. I mean, like, different now than you were before. Like, mindsets do change, and your taste in things change. Like, Harry Styles will always be the love of my life. Just putting that out there. But, like, a lot of the music that I used to listen to in high school, I listen to it now and I'm like, what is this?
Oh yeah.
No.
Listen, middle school me was like, this is not a phase. I'm like alt rock for life. Like, I'm just gonna be. Oh, I listen to music for the lyrics and like nothing else. And now I'm over here like bopping a K-pop, like just listening to French music, like grooving to some like good Hispanic music that I have no idea what they're saying. But I'm just like, yo, this is good and it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I look back and I'm like, middle school me would be so angry at like postgraduate me because it's just two completely different individuals.
Yeah, and like the front and my core values have stayed the same.
Oh yeah.
I think that's just who you are as a person. Like usually won't change. But I don't know, like, I'm looking at my friends, like, throughout history, right? Throughout life, like, all my different types of friends.
It's like a flashback. Yeah. You see everything.
I'm gonna show high school Shirley right here. Just kidding, I won't, because that's horrible. No, but yeah, like, I look at my friends from before, and, like, I've left a lot of friend groups. Not, like, maliciously. Like, I don't love you anymore. I'm gonna leave. But, like, just in the sense, like, people grow apart. Like, it happens. And I think that's something you learn as you get older. Like, it kind of stings at first. Like, when you are very close to someone and suddenly you're not friends with them anymore or you don't talk to them the same way anymore. But you learn, like, that's okay. Like, maybe along the, like, somewhere down the road, like, you will be friends with them again. Maybe you could be close again. But, like, I've had a lot of different types of friends. Like, I've had, like, the bookworms. I've had the party goers, the drug takers. I'm not going to say any names. You know who you are. I have friends that are parents now. I have friends that are married now.
Friends who are going to be married.
Yeah. Friends that are engaged.
I know we talked about this before, but it still really boggles our minds.
Wow. Like, y'all are really going places. Like, but yeah, and like, now I have, you know, friends that play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that is wild to me. And I have friends who work for big corporations, like the big companies, you know, and many things.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who are working in big places. As full-time employees, you know, with like benefits and stuff. I'm just trying to make it out here. So.
I mean, recently we made 2 friends, 2 males.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna go places.
They're gonna do big things.
Their wallets will be the big things that they will be doing.
Also very good souls.
Yeah, stay friends with me because I'm poor.
We love you. Hearts.
Yeah, you know who you are. But yeah, and like, I don't know, like, I forgot what my point was because I ramble. But people change. People are different. And that's okay to not be friends with someone anymore. I think as long as you grow out of the petty stage where you're like throwing shade at people
or like subtweeting
or like, I don't know, like talking bad about people behind their backs. Like, I think the fact that you grow apart from people, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
But like, even us saying this, like, absolutely no one's perfect, and obviously we're gonna be making mistakes along the way, but you can't. It's hard. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. I think everyone's learning at their own pace. Everyone's like, you know, doing their own thing. They're really trying to find themselves and, like, you know, who they are, who they want to be. And
I'm sure at one point I've been toxic to someone.
Oh yes,
like,
we make mistakes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, we're not perfect, and again, like, sometimes we do things like not on purpose, not maliciously, that just is bad for another person. And if, like, I don't want to say, like, if I am currently toxic, but, like, if I am, like, if something I
am doing
if something I am doing bothers you, like, I think the fact that we're friends, you should feel comfortable to tell me, like, hey, you know, every time you make a crude joke, even though it's funny, maybe a little inappropriate sometimes.
Yeah, like, actually holding your friends accountable and stuff. I think that's super important because a lot of people just kind of, like, let things slide, and I don't want to be like, guys, it's 2018, like, you gotta know all these things. Like, people really don't, and it's okay to, like, help your friends out and educate them about things, because, again, everyone's constantly learning. Not everyone's gonna know everything at all times.
As long as you don't, like, frown upon the people that you're trying to help. Like, like, okay, I'm not good on techie stuff, right? And Sarana tries to, like, teach me.
I'm not good either, but I know a thing or two.
And so, like, right before we started recording this episode, she was talking about gigs and megabytes and...
Just general storage, yeah.
And I was just nodding. And she realized I had no idea what she was talking about. So instead of being like, oh, like, you're so dumb for not knowing, she was like, well, this means this and that means that. And it wasn't in a condescending way.
It wasn't like, you don't know this? Oh, my God. Who even are you?
Yeah, like, it's 2018. Get it together. But yeah, like, I think it's really important, but also it's really important to keep in mind that sometimes if you do try to teach someone something, it can come off as condescending.
Yeah.
Especially if that's just who you are. And, like, that's not bad, but it's something to keep in mind because, like, you have to mind your audience.
Yeah, that's definitely who I am. Like, a lot of people tell me that I'm very hard to approach sometimes, and, like, I say things in certain ways, and I really don't mean to be that way. It's just, I'm working on it. Like, I really am. But it's just kind of, like, how I am and how I talk. And I'm kind of slightly aggressive and very assertive in certain things that I do, in certain ways that, you know, I think things should be done. But again, it's something that I'm working on because I realize that it's an issue where other people are, you know, getting mixed signals and just communication's really off. So also recognizing the way that you're talking and body language is also a big part of it. And you can't see, but under the table, I'm, like, doing all these hand movements. And, like...
It's happening.
Sometimes that comes off as aggressive. And I did not know that before.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic. I make many of the movements.
Oh, yeah. I'm from the Caribbean. Like, if you don't talk with your whole body, are you even talking?
Yeah. That's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, that's cultural differences as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, a lot of things that people are bringing up these days is because, like, we live in such diverse places and more places are continuing to diversify. Yeah. You know, we're learning how different cohorts are interacting with one another, and basically everyone's tailoring themselves and learning along the way, which is a great thing. Despite all the crap that's going on in America, it's one of the best things about living particularly in New York City.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of, like, on both sides of that, like, aggressive passive spectrum, because to certain people I'm very passive, and I for the most part I think I am. I'll tend to let things slide if like the first couple times before I actually say anything, which is something I'm working on. Like, I think it's important to say things, and I give that advice to people, but I don't actually do it. But then to other people, I come off as aggressive because I'm loud. And I'm loud to certain people. I'm Hispanic.
That's so it. Bottom line.
Yeah, that's it. Like, that explains it. And so, like, like, not half, but, like, a good chunk of people usually tell me, like, you're yelling. Mm-hmm. Which really bugs me. Like, that's one of the things that really bugs me.
Like the Ross?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I hated Ross in Friends. Like, if this will be a recurring theme, I don't care. I hate Ross. I'll bring it up every episode somehow. But yeah, like, I don't mind people telling me, like, hey, you know, you're being kind of loud. Like, sure, yeah, sometimes I can't hear myself because I'm Hispanic, so I'm just loud in general. It's just who I am. But just don't, like that, nothing upsets me more than someone, like,
I'll put, like squeaky. Yeah. Squeaky sounds.
Yeah, no, like, nothing, like, that, it really bugs me. And I've had people do it to me, and I know it's not, like, in a malicious way. Like, they don't mean to be like, hey, shut up. But, it's just a personal thing, I guess. And then, like, the other half tell me that I'm a very quiet person and I should speak up. Yeah. And I'm like, what do you mean? People tell me I'm loud. And she's like, I have friends.
It's like, who am I?
Like, yeah. Like, I don't, like, am I loud? So I have to be careful with who I'm with. Mm-hmm. Like, then my volume changes. Like, my sister and my mom are like, no. Well, okay, this is a lie. I guess shut it up. That's gonna make that thing. Shut it up. I get shut it up a lot by my mom and my sister. Mostly my sister. She's like, "Why are you always yelling?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I really don't know." And I'm trying very hard not to raise my voice right now because like I really was about to yell. I don't know. But then like my other friend, I'm just gonna say her name, Soleil. Like, she always tells me, she's like, "No, I definitely know people that are much louder than you. Like, you talk normal. Don't even worry about it." And then my sister's here yelling at me, like, "You're whispering. That's normal people talk. And you're talking is normal people yelling. You just don't know how to whisper." And I'm like, "Oh, this makes sense."
Suddenly, this is an ASMR. Yes, welcome. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, no. But bottom line is that toxic relationships, you should feel okay walking away from them.
Yeah.
Because if walking away is going to make you a better you and make you happier, then communicate that. And if the other person doesn't receive it well, then unfortunately that's their loss, because you're trying to better yourself and essentially better, if it's in a friend group, better the entire group.
Yeah.
But if it just isn't working out, then, like, you just gotta let it go. Cue Frozen.
Yeah, no, that's true. And, like, I think it's hard for both sides. Like, if you are the toxic person and you don't know you're being toxic, for someone to tell you, like, "Hey, you're not good for me," it's kind of a blow. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And, like, the first time someone tells you that, it's gonna be hard. Especially if you're like, "Well, that's just, like, who I am. Are you saying that I'm toxic to everyone?" Like, no, that's not true. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
If you're a crap person, you're just a crap person. I don't know what to tell you. Seek some therapy. But,
And therapy's okay. Like, listen, do what you gotta do, home slice.
I have a bachelor's, I have a BA in psych. Like, everyone get therapy.
Especially if you live in a condensed city like we do.
I actually read an article where, like, New York City has, like, one of the highest rates for, therapy
everyone needs a shrink. It's everyone's crazy here.
Once I get my PhD, it's over for you guys. But yeah, and as the person leaving a toxic relationship, it's also hard. You don't want to tell your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife or whatever.
Or your SO.
Yeah, there you go. You don't want to tell them, like, "Hey, no." Yeah. And leave. Like, also, don't just leave without giving an explanation.
I think, like, bottom line is still communication. Yeah. Like, super important.
Yeah. If you can't communicate, you just can't.
Yeah.
Like, communication is really important in friendships, in relationships, in everything, like, at work.
Yeah.
If you can't talk to someone, you're not going to get anywhere. I've learned that. The easy way, the hard way, the medium way.
Medium rare, you know. No, I like things well done, actually.
Very well done.
Yeah, like charred on the thing. On the side.
Like, borderline burnt.
But, yeah, like, sometimes closing the door doesn't mean that, like, you're just gonna face the wall and, like, put yourself in a timeout. Like, it opens the doors to new beginnings. As cliche and, like, cheesy as that sounds, toxic relationships, it's fine. It's fine. At the end of the day, it is fine.
It is fine.
And you're gonna be okay, and we'll be okay. Eventually.
Yeah. I mean, again, and that doesn't always mean that it's... Just because you close that door doesn't mean you barricaded it and you can never go through there because, like, rabid dogs are waiting for you on the other side.
Yeah,
like,
no, sometimes it just takes time as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you for tuning in. This has been episode 2. Yeah. But until next time, subscribe and like and share and tell your friends. Can our friends please tell their friends? Because I know we have a good circle of friends.
I hope we have a good circle
of friends. If not, tell us and we will communicate and work on it.
Yes.
But yeah, that's all. Stay hydrated. And yep.
Adios, friends.